Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first hunting log for the Best Friend Cast. I am Jimmy of Best Friend Cast, and want to kind of touch on a lot of things that people have been asking me, mainly friends. Much like most of you guys, I have a lot of friends who are starting the first Monster Hunter game now with the new game Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate. They've been kind of bogged down just because some of them I haven't been able to hunt with. So I just want to kind of explain a few things. Maybe this is useful to you. Hopefully it's at least entertaining. Um, though for future reference, this hunting log will probably contain a lot of other things besides tutorial things. I don't think I am the first person who should be showing people how to play this game. But I mean, if you guys ask, I'll do my best to do what I can. So, anyways, one of the first kind of complaints, really more than anything, I've been getting, completely understandable for this game, is just the first series of quests have been very boring. As you can see, they're mainly all delivery quests. Delivery quests, like these, deliver 2 Kelby horns, 3 goldfish, etc. And so I'm sure they can get very monotonous and tiring. So what you might notice is I've actually only have 3 of them done, and yet somehow I'm already able to go to the next level. Um, So with that, there's a difference between quests as far as some of them being what's called your key quests and others not being it. And so what the key quests do is they're mandatory quests like these 3 that unlock an urgent. In this case, that urgent would have been the Nolo for Ludroth quest. And so once you completed that quest, that urgent quest, you will be able to unlock the next level of quests. And then once you complete the key quests for this, you'll get another one, which in this case with Shakalaka Savior, you will be able to repeat that one. But that after completing the urgent, that unlocks this next level of quests. And so some of you might be asking, how do I find out which quests are key quests and not? You can find them on a lot of resources. The one I use for it now is monsterhunter.wikia.com. I'll have a link in the description for you guys. But yeah, you just click on Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate, go to Village Quests, and then they'll tell you which quests are your key quests. Isn't that interesting? So kind of the next thing along that line, yeah, I mean, you notice the first bunch of quests are all delivery quests, and then after that, you notice, okay, well, I need to make new equipment. Well, now I have to gather even more stuff to make this equipment. So that can get kind of tiring. If I show you my item page real quick, you notice I have my iron pickaxes and bug nets with me, and I try to always keep that on my person, no matter what quest I'm doing. So even if I'm about to go kill a great Roggy, I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. You'll notice that I'll keep those items with me just so that I can gather while I'm out there. This kind of breaks the monotony. I chase Froggy for a bit, beat him up as soon as he leaves that whatever area I'm in. I'll run around and kind of gather there and then move on. It's kind of a good habit to employ, at least on your offline game, just so you can kind of keep up to date with having enough bugs and ores and things of that sort. So don't do that online for obvious reasons, of course. You guys are punching together to kill something. Don't make everyone else in the party the other way, like you gather. So anyway, yeah. So about equipment, you'll notice that you know say armor clad forge armor. So these are the equipment that I have unlocked so far, and you basically unlock new equipment as you gain whatever item is needed to unlock it. So a lot of people have actually been asking online about the Roggy hat. So I'll actually discuss that a little bit. And so by no means is the only one, but generally helmets and things of that sort tend to have rare items needed to unlock it. So if you look at the required materials, you'll notice King's Beak is the first one, and that is actually what is needed to unlock this one. And so to get that, the only way of getting that is to basically break the Great Roggy's face. Break his face. Yeah, I'm not joking. That's how you do it. Um, and so I've actually been trying to get his armor set. So I'm probably gonna go kill him. So I can show you what that guy looks like. And so about what armors and weapons and things like that to use. Monster Hunter is really kind of unique from other games in the sense that as far as armor goes, the most important thing is not the defense. Let's see. If you go to my status, you'll see that I have these skills. Auto guard, you get can see I get it from my talisman. So it'll tell you what equipment you have, and or at least what points you have on under which equipment. So, for example, under my helmet, I have +4 towards auto tracker or psychic, +2 to ranger, -2 to poison, etc. And so, with most of the skills, the main important number you want to get to total is either 10 or 15. 10, as you see under psychic, unlocks detect, which will be kind of like the first level of that skill, whereas 15 will unlock auto tracker, which is the second level. So the significance about these skills is that different armor sets will give you different kind of skills. So example, this hunter equipment gives me my auto tracker and outdoorsman. So ranger or outdoorsman will be a skill that limits the need for a map and improves fishing and cooking performance during quests. Cool, right? Psychic will tell you where the monster is. So yeah, for example, you'll see there's 2 levels, level 10 and level 15. Detect will kind of just randomly show you where the monster is when it feels like doing it, whereas auto tracker is like the monster is constantly under a permanent paintball. So this can be kind of convenient for some of you guys in the sense that you don't have to run around looking for a monster. So yeah, with different armors, you can find different skills and things like that. In the case of the Rogi armor, I'm just really it's cool. Hopefully I can get that done by the time I join for our actual podcast tonight. But anyway, so that's kind of like the basics of that. And so the next thing we kind of want to talk about is the decorations. So let's here, I'll show you. So under armorcraft, if I go to forge armor and hunter's helm. So you notice that naturally this helmet only gives +2 to psychic and +2 to ranger, but I had +4 to psychic from my helmet. And you do that from using what's called decorations or gems. And so each equipment will have a slot. You see there. So for example, my hunter's helm has 1 slot. Armor has the chest has 1 slot. The Vambrace has 1. This one has 1. I'm not using. And the Grease doesn't have any. And so what slots are, they're basically room in your armor for you to equip these decorations. I'll show you some. And so decorations will do different things. They'll add different points towards certain skills depending on. So what I did was I just made 3 of the psychic jewel ones. And you'll notice they each give +2 to psychic. So I made 3 of that. That's +6. So added on to a total of +10 from this armor's natural skills. You get +16 for psychic, which gives me auto tracker. Right, so that's one way you can do it to kind of enhance the weapons that you have. Now the talisman I'm using is the auto guard talisman. It's the first one you get for free from the little Wyvern man. Basically, you'll randomly block by yourself. Of course, this only works with weapons that have a shield or can block. So as you mine and things like that, you'll find other ones like this one does +2 to defense, +4 to sleep, things like that. So yeah, they're great ways of having adding a whole another skill onto a set of armor. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the basics for armor that we'll get into. Let's see. Let's go do a quest. So I'm gonna go kill the Great Ruggy. Show you what breaking his face looks like. Although meanwhile, kind of explain the hammer to you guys. Like I said, I really don't feel like I'm the one you should be looking towards as far as an example on how you should be playing this game, especially with the hammer. I'm definitely still a noob with the hammer, but for you guys who are just starting the game, hopefully this gets kind of useful. So first, you go to the blue box, get some of the free items. You generally want to use these items first before your own, just because they're free. They'll disappear at the end of the quest. Oh crap! I didn't drink that. They'll disappear at the end of the quest, so use them up during the quest before you use your own. So you notice that on my map I already have the monster highlighted in area 2. And this is just kind of helpful because rather than if you don't know where he starts out, rather than just kind of running around looking for it. So let's get some hits off. So this first combo I'm getting off is called the triple pound. It's kind of the bread and butter of the hammer. You basically just have to hit the X button 3 times to do it. That golf swing, that last part of the triple pound, is the strongest move, or the strongest commonly used move on the hammer. And as much as possible, you want to be getting those off for exactly that reason. But they are a little bit difficult to get off if you don't know the exact timing and how to place yourself around the monster to exploit it when it turns and things like that. So the next thing I want to show you guys is the Super Pound. And this is going to be much more common amongst newer hunters and people who aren't familiar with the hammer, such as I am. And so basically I just hold down the R button and you'll start charging. And then when you let go, you'll do a Super Pound like that. Now with this one, you want to make sure you you stop movement, or else, what is it? You won't do the Super Pound, but instead you'll do something like this. I'll show you what it looks like. Oops, that's not it. One more time. Yeah, so you just kind of swing around like that. Yeah, and so that last move actually is, if you get all those moves to hit, and including the last move, it's actually the highest damage you can do on the hammer. As you can see, it takes quite some time to do, so getting it off reliably requires a fair amount of skill. Now, another thing about the hammer you might notice, anytime I've been hitting him in the face, it's been doing this kind of like yellow explosion animation, and what that represents is called what's called KO damage. Now, if you can do that with certain other weapons like shield bashing with the lance or the sword and shield, or even the hunting horn has KO damage as well. But the main ones are the hammer and the hunting horn for knocking things out. And what that means is, there we go. What that means is once you've stacked in a certain amount of KO damage on a monster, it will be locked in it'll be stunned basically. It'll be seeing stars literally. And so what this means is that monster will be unable to move for a while, giving you and your team generally a good amount of time to just beat up on it freely without worrying about getting hit. So yeah, especially if you're the hammer user in your team, you want to be trying to get these off as much as you can, do as much KO as you possibly muster. So on top of trying to get that King's Beak, or that break on that face to show you guys, yeah, you generally with the hammer want to be aiming for the face. But if you're really new with the hammer, as much as possible, yeah, try to practice getting that timing down so that you can hit the face. But don't be too discouraged. If you're having a hard time, just get off whatever hits you can get. With this game, really, my opinion is any damage is better than no damage. So if you're constantly missing, going for the head, just get off hits on the body. In this case, you'll be kind of rewarded too. The hammer has another kind of effect with impact damage. If you do enough damage to the body, you'll see he's kind of drooling as he's running away. What this does is it really slows down the monster. Does less damage, and he's just kind of fatigued. He's exhausted, basically, is the status. And so during this time is usually when I'll try to go on the offensive. He's kind of stuck in between areas right now. They're going to go with him. Sent to the next, the last zone. So we'll try to wait for him to come up. So see, normally he's fatigued, so this would be a good chance for me to kind of just go balls out on the offense. But he's kind of stuck in that area. So yeah, when he's fatigued like this, that's usually when I'd be trying to get off a lot more. So golf swings and triple pounds and things like that, just because he's going to be standing around doing nothing. Now the opposite of being fatigued would be when the monster's angry, and you'll see like he has visible like kind of puffing air, not like that smoke cloud. Oh yeah, that never went off. So when that happens, the monster's kind of the opposite. He's going to be moving around a lot faster. He's going to be hitting a lot harder. So during that time, you want to be playing a lot more defensively, which has happened. Oh jeez, that was so loud. Not sure if you guys heard that. I don't think so. Anyways, sorry about that. So kind of the next thing. Jeez, I wish you guys did hear that. It was so loud. It was like this little fanfare thing. Like it was on my apps on my MacBook. Just get it. Anyways, yeah. So when he's angry, hopefully he'll get angry in a little bit. Let me show you what that looks like. Generally want to be playing a little bit more defensively. And during this time is usually when I'm going to be doing mainly super pounds, just because it allows me to kind of run away between hits. Oops. That. Oh, what? Stop limping! No! No. So yeah, when they're limping is another sign that the monster's almost ready to die. If you're doing a capturing quest, that means he's also ready to be captured. For me, this is bad because that means I haven't been doing enough damage to his face to break it. Hopefully, I can break it right now before he dies. Hopefully he doesn't see me. Like that. Oh no, he sees me. So sometimes if you kind of wait a bit, the monster will go eat. He doesn't see you. This is another chance for you to get off a lot of free hits. So another thing about this game, you'll notice it's called Monster Hunter, not Monster Brawler or Monster Beat 'em Up. Main reason why is your job is the hunter. You want to be the one killing the monster, right? Seems fair enough. So really, you don't want to be standing toe to toe with the monster, and I don't know why I'm running around this thing. But anyways, you don't want to be standing toe to toe with the monster, trading blows with it. You'll find that you'll have to be healing a lot, and every time you heal, that's time to hit the monster. So you want to generally kind of exploit its behaviors, go towards areas that you know it's not going to attack as much, and really spend more time dodging than anything. Eventually, as you get more effective at the game, you'll kind of know when it's about to do certain moves, or what move it's about to do based on the tells, what your timing are, what you can afford. Oh, yes, got it. So you see, yep, his face just broke off. But yeah, you kind of know, okay, this monster's about to turn here, so I'll let go of my super pound now, things like that. So, no, you don't have to cha-cha. But anyways, so, yeah, you want to spend as much time not getting hit as you can. And really, as you become a better hunter, you can still get hit, not as much, but spend more time doing some hitting yourself as well. So whether that means finding out, hey, this guy generally tends to hit somewhat linearly, so I'm going to stand towards his side, things like that, or if you're trying to hit his face, knowing when he's going to be open for that face hit is really kind of the name of the game. So if you find yourself getting frustrated, this just spend some time with it. This is one of the games that really rewards you for the amount of time you spend in fighting certain monsters. Not so much in the sense of like getting more experience points or things like that, but just you get really used to how to fight this monster. Hey. So that was the Rocky with the hammer. Like I said, I'm really not the guy to be telling you how to use a hammer, but hopefully that's enough of the basics for you guys to kind of get it down, discover some of the timing for yourself, and yeah, really enjoy some of the intricacies of this game. A lot of my friends have been asking me, what's the best weapon to main, things like that. And really, the question is just, the best weapon is whatever weapon you're going to be really good at. So find a weapon that you are comfortable with, that works well with the kind of play style that you have in mind, and just go with it. Luckily enough, the game gives us a set of every single one of the weapons to start off with. So really, just go out in the mobile woods, do a bunch of damage and things with different weapons, see which one you like the most. And then the nice thing about this game is you'll eventually find that if you are at least decent with every single one of the weapons, the game will really reward you. Certain monsters are just really easily exploited with other weapons. Yeah, branch out. No King's Peak. So yeah, like you can see, you don't always get them, but if you don't hit the face, then you're guaranteed not to. If you don't break the face, you're guaranteed not to get them. So if that's what you need, really try to break the face. Alright, I hope that was good information for you guys as far as using at least the basics of the game. Next, I just kind of wanted to go in and discuss some things with you guys. So, as far as this podcast goes, or a video cast, I say podcast out of habit, but I know most of you guys aren't going to be ripping this audio to play on your iPods. Anyhow, for this video cast, one of the big things for me is it's a tribute really to you guys, all of you Monster Hunter community people. Just a little bit about myself. I've always been really kind of an insecure person, and for whatever reason, this was just multiplied when it came to being on the internet. So I've never really played any online games at all, except for save a few MMOs, just because I like the art or whatever, and I'll just play by myself and never get really far. So even with Monster Hunter, I first started out on the PSP. A friend of mine played it, convinced me to buy it. I played it mainly by myself on Freedom Unite, and then convince Julie and the other half of this podcast to get it. And so it was mainly just us two on Freedom Unite for the longest time. And then Try comes out, and supposedly the exciting thing about Try was the fact that I would be able to, hunt online, with new people and things like that. But even on Try, for really the longest time, I never really did that. And, I was just so scared that, if I died, people would be like, oh, my zennies, get out of here, loser, things like that. But, props to you guys. I couldn't have been more wrong. Especially all the guys I met on the Teamwork Cast website. Hunting with you guys has been such a great pleasure. You've always been just so supportive, and so I really wanted to try to find a way to really give a voice to that community, just to help expand it, just to get all these new people who are just getting into Monster Hunter right now to know just how fun it is, playing with all of you guys. So one of the things we wanted to do on this podcast was just find a way to give you guys a voice. So if you have any questions for us as far as things you wanted us to discuss on the podcast, um, or things you want us to try out and do on the podcast, you can always contact us through one of the links below. If you guys have any ideas for challenges that we can make it more exciting for you guys to watch, we'll always be more than happy to try it. Let's see. And yeah, and another thing is we want to definitely include fan answers at the end of each of our podcasts. Julie and I are actually going to record tonight, so I don't think the questions from this